Colorado is Chevelle Devine. CJ, how are you doing tonight?
I'm not too bad. I can't complain. It's a little chilly.
A little chilly. Define a little chilly. What is it like out in Colorado right now?
I think we're in the 20s, maybe 19, 17.
17 degrees.
Us here in Southern California, that's what we call a cold snap.
Wow.
Yeah, I kind of said, oh, snap, it's cold.
Oh,
So, yeah.
snap, yeah. If I went outside and it was 20, I would go right back inside.
Seriously. I don't, there's not enough whiskey in the world to keep me warm.
Let's not go that far. Come on. There's a lot of whiskey out
Not saying
there.
a lot.
Okay. Well, if you are, obviously, you got to be just joining us because we're just now going on the air. It is Thursday, February the 6th. 2020, and this is actually our first episode this year. We took the whole month of January off, so Happy New Year to everybody if you are just joining us. And if you are watching us tonight, again, Thursday, February 6th, we are live. You can call in, you can join the conversation. I don't think we didn't bother to actually announce to anybody that we were doing this tonight, did we?
Oh, no one's watching.
Yeah, so we have like no viewers, but just in case you wanted to call in, the telephone number is 951-356-6882. Again, that's 951-356-6882. Not so coincidentally, that's the number for Mixified Media Solutions. They are our producers. Oh, they are the company that makes it possible for this show to be here on public access.
Our
When you
magnanimous,
actually just say they are us.
our magnanimous sponsor.
How come why you have no concept of maintaining an illusion? You have none,
Oh, man.
whatsoever.
It's fake news.
All right. Well, anyway, so yeah, if you ever want to get in touch with Mixified Media Solutions, you can give us a call at that same number anytime. But tonight, if you call, we'll put you on the air. All right. So you've been warned. Call tonight. You're going on the air.
Dang, it sounded like a threat.
All right. After talking with Chevelle, it kind of is. So, CJ, how are you doing besides freezing your parts off out there?
Oh, I'm pretty good. Just chilling.
Still got all your parts, quote unquote?
Mostly.
All right. And Todd, how about you? How are you
Did a
doing?
little
Yeah.
shoveling yesterday.
Oh my God, Chevelle, shut up.
He babbles a lot. He just keeps on going.
Oh man, I got a dentist appointment scheduled. Man, it's so lame.
Dentist appointment.
You know,
Really? What
It's the
for?
start of the
Hot
year,
dogs
so
with the
I
kids.
say, you got to get all those things out of the way. Schedule a dentist
Did I mention
appointment,
hot
schedule
dogs?
a doctor's appointment, and all that stuff. Get it all out of the way at the start of the year. That's what I say.
Okay. All
Either
right.
that or
So
I scheduled it in December, and they didn't have any openings until now.
So wait, you're saying you volunteered for this?
I mean, my insurance pays for me to get free dental. Well, free.
And by that, you mean
Free.
you pay for insurance to pay for that, right?
Yeah, I get allotted 2 dentist visits a year. So yeah, I'm gonna use them.
I just had a thought. I just had a horrifying thought. In this age, because apparently the zombie apocalypse is upon us. If you have not been living under a rock, you are aware of the coronavirus that is sweeping the world, evidently. And
It's the new hit craze. It's sweeping the nation.
so technically, we should probably all be wearing surgical masks, although we're not coming to you from China, so I guess it's not quite that bad here in the U.S. just yet.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of people out in public wearing masks.
Just out of curiosity, have most of them been Asian?
No, actually.
Really?
Nah, yeah. I ride the public transport to work most days, and yeah, especially I don't know if it's a company thing. Like the MTA has recommended their employees to do that just because they can come in contact with so many people. I see in general the drivers are almost always wearing masks.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, so to that end, it just occurs to me that we really should have a can of Lysol in the studio here to maybe like spray down these microphones before we actually use them. It's just something that occurred to me.
Yeah, this is public access.
Yeah.
Gross. Who knows who is?
The only guy who's actually getting to use his own personal microphone right now is Chevelle because, he's out there in Colorado somewhere.
You guys are totally grossing me out right now.
Yeah, he's sitting pretty up
This
there.
is
with
the guy
his
who takes a
personal
hoagie sandwich
mic-
to
It's
the
too cold for any viruses to survive up here.
Yeah, this is the man who takes his hoagie sandwich to the bathroom with him when he's got to
out
go
there for somebody else to get.
do his
That's
stuff.
crazy talk.
As a matter of fact, I forgot that his studio is actually in his bathroom because he has children. That's the only place he can actually go and be alone.
You got to get some privacy once in a while.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. I guess. Oh, what? I'm dying of the coronavirus. No. What?
Is it too soon to say too soon?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you have to laugh at this, otherwise, I don't know. Do we cry? I mean, seriously, are you getting ready for the zombie apocalypse over there in Colorado, CJ?
Always.
Yeah?
Always.
Yeah. So you have now officially joined the ranks of the preppers.
I am not rich enough to be a prepper.
Okay.
But, I've decided to start off by being a hoarder. And
No,
that's going pretty good.
That's always been the case.
I mean, isn't that half the point of living up there? Is that, you're kind of learning to live off the land and.
Well, I mean, if you really want to do it, you go to Wyoming. That's kind of where you go.
If
you're Mormon, you go to Utah.
Why is that prepper capital? What's the difference?
Have you at
What
least
else are
gotten
you
to the
gonna do in
point
Wyoming?
where you have a shotgun, on a rack in the back window of your pickup truck? Have you gotten to that level yet?
Well, I have a SUV, so it'd be too far away for me to reach.
Oh.
So just keep the sawed off.
Couldn't you just like strap it to the A pillar?
armrest right there.
The A pillar. No. Oh wait, you don't. Well, do you have the airbag in the A pillar, or can you just like put the shotgun there? Do the little riot gun thing.
No, I don't. Because then if you're reaching over to under your seatbelt, you guys forget I'm black, so I got to be careful where I'm reaching when I'm in my car.
Oh yeah,
because it goes sideways real quick.
right.
So.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's a good point.
10
Interesting.
and 2, bro. 10 and 2.
Okay. And so you, Todd, you're not really prepping yet either. By the way, that's a lovely ensemble you've got going this evening with the purplish colored shirt and the blue vest. Wow, that's
New Year's resolution to treat myself.
Oh, is that what that was?
I mean, sure, why not?
You're missing the kerchief in the pocket though.
Go full. What's his name from Fred from Scooby Doo?
Then you need the ascot. Yeah, because he was always saying in the later episodes, in the new versions, it's not a scarf.
I think he needs. Yeah, my lapel would have to be like 3 times as big.
Oh, well, hey, I think you could probably still find those butterfly collars somewhere. Anyway, all right. So, yeah, go ahead.
Come on. Fred and Daphne were totally always wanted to split up because they were going over to do their business, right?
In the van, yeah, I guess. They would just hang out in the van.
Because, come on, Velma was literally the only person solving the mystery.
Well, yeah, that's because Shaggy and Scooby were just raiding the fridge everywhere they went, Although, actually, no, I guess Fred and Daphne couldn't be in the van because the rumor goes that that's where Shaggy and Scooby would go to smoke out.
Oh, yeah. Every time that van door opened, a huge plume of smoke
There
would
was
come out.
no such thing.
That, I've seen it.
There was no, totally you have not. Maybe in the newest episodes, but not in any of the original episodes.
Oh, I'm going to pull up a YouTube video and show you.
Oh, yeah, you show me that. You show me that, and I will show you something that has been doctored, with Photoshop.
You can see Shaggy's eyes are all red.
Ugh. Seriously? All right. Anyway, what is that behind you there, CJ? Is that like an orange or something, or...
I have a grapefruit and an orange.
Again, that's in preparation for the zombie apocalypse because citrus keeps away the zombies?
No, it's vitamin C for, the coronavirus.
Oh, I see.
For not dying.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we should actually get into a topic of discussion, but before I do, I want to remind everybody again that we are live. You can join the conversation, 951-356-6882. That is the number to call if you want to join the conversation tonight. And again, only on Thursday, February 6th. If you'd like to find out how you can come down and make your own show, and it's cheap.
Cheap.
You're a little delayed on that one, CJ, but still not bad.
Technology for that.
You can call
Skype.
You can call Pasadena Media Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Their telephone number is area code 626-794-8585. That is 626-794-8585. And you too can come down and talk about Todd's clothing. Yeah. All right. So anyway, let me get into
that. Is that a thing? Is that what people do?
Trump.
They come down and talk about Todd's
clothing. Well, we are tonight because he's got that
'Cause-
Pepto pinkish thing going there. I don't know.
Don't
Anyway,
hate.
it is time for
Trump in the news.
So, of course, Chavelle's been doing his happy dance now, I think, for a couple of days because Trump got acquitted. And
Chavelle's very happy about this?
yeah, I'm sure he's just
Yeah, I mean, look at him. He looks like he's really tickled pink.
yeah, he's also wearing white headphones. Those are new. What happened to the weren't they orange before? What happened to
Yeah,
the orange
they're
headphones?
I'm between headphones right now.
Oh, I see.
And,
Okay.
you know, after being off for a month, I was like, screw it. I need to do something to entertain myself.
Oh,
So
okay.
you broke your headphones?
I have children.
Well, so yeah, Trump got acquitted. This comes a day after he did his State of the Union address. But it was a foregone conclusion because Mitch McConnell had gone out of his way to pretty much block any witness testimony, and he had specified from the get-go that it was just going to be an exercise in constitutional law that they were going to have this trial because they had to, but in the end, it was preordained that Trump would be acquitted, and the Republicans voted pretty much all the way along party lines, with the exception of one Republican on one charge, and that by itself was a history-setting precedent that a member of Congress actually voted against their own party. And that, of course, was Mitt Romney, who actually voted guilty on the first count, which was abuse of power. But needless to say, Trump then went on a victory tour this morning that went for 2 hours.
But Trump, I'm pretty sure Trump said, abusing your power isn't illegal. It's just extremely distasteful.
Oh, is that his position on that?
I mean, I don't think those are his exact words, but I think that's the gist.
I really can't wait to have Chevelle weigh in on
I
this.
have a really hard time, number one, caring about this, and number two, getting frustrated about it. I cannot get mad at this man for doing the same thing everybody else does. And if it wasn't for the fact that he beat out the Golden Girl, it would have been a non-issue.
Yeah, that's right, because Trump said,
It's all fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen.
You got to work on your segues, man. That was a little.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you don't like the words he said, but sorry, Chevelle, he said them.
yeah, that's exactly what he said.
Those are literally his words.
And so,
Yeah, but it just didn't fit.
Oh, yeah? His words aren't exactly convenient?
I don't know why people are getting so worked up about this. I honestly, truly do not understand.
because
Why people
he
acting so
abused
brand
his.
new.
Do we really? Did you
Dude,
not watch
for real.
any of the trial? Did you not watch any of the trial? Because the Republicans
What was
the
the
Democrats pretty much
point?
laid it all out. They explained everything.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
What they did is they spent days saying, he's getting away with the stuff we've been doing. He's doing the same thing I would do in his position, but I'm not in his position, so I'm going to cry about it. Grow up.
Look at this guy.
I'm serious. I mean, how you've known me a long time. I don't
yes,
like
yes, we
politicians. I expect them to lie. I expect them to manipulate. I expect them to abuse power. I can't think of one in my lifetime that has not done that. Not one at any level of government. Let's take your local city council. Let one of them walk into a restaurant. They paying full price?
Well, okay, now you're just speculating. You can't actually prove that they're getting.
Let's take that Rose Bowl game that they get tickets to. Let's take every concert inside the Rose Bowl that ever happens they get tickets to. Oh, but we put them up for a lottery so other people. And bruh, come on.
Well, wait a minute.
Nah.
That could very easily be explained away as perks of the job. You get perks at
Well-
your job, and they get perks at their job
But why are they getting those perks? Why?
because they're doing a job.
Because they have the ability to say no. That's why.
So when you get offered a perk at work, do you say no?
I don't get perks, so I really couldn't give you any kind of a context for that. You know what I get at work?
No, what do you-
Hired.
Paycheck.
Just saying.
You know, it's been too long since I've had all these buttons at my disposal.
Come on, everybody gets a
Good
perk
breakthrough.
from work.
Yeah,
What are you
seriously.
talking about,
Everybody-
Chevelle?
everybody has to
I
get
do
some kind of.
I do get some perks from work. They just don't know it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess you could say that's an abuse of power.
I mean,
which is,
it just goes without
Joe,
saying.
Even the fact that you would ask me that question is proof that I really have no right to get angry at Trump for doing it, because I do the same thing at my minuscule little level. I get the perks of being a dad in the household. I get to yell at my boys when they get too loud. And then when they talk back, I'm like, you can't talk bad. I'm the daddy.
You're not a nice person.
Okay, so anyway, so
Don't
Trump,
make me come back there.
Trump, what are you doing?
Yeah, okay. Hush up.
Who's he talking to?
You know, he's just doing a quick flex.
Is that what it is? Okay, so
Gotta flex that daddy
So
muscle
Trump goes on
once in a
his
while.
victory tour this morning and has a 2-hour speech where he looks like, I don't know how else to describe it except like the high school coach after his team won, but he almost didn't think they were going to. And so he's like thanking everybody that was ever in the room that wasn't Democratic. But there were there actually were several moments that struck me, like when he went on his tirade about Russia, and he actually started it with Russia, Russia, Russia. And for those of you that are old enough to remember the Brady Bunch, I was just waiting for a meme that had Jan saying Russia, 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 you know, because that's really what it sounded like. And
Should've
then
made one. You missed a perfect
he followed that up with bull. I don't have tone here, otherwise I would use that. So
just make the noise.
Very
why, you got all these Trump quotes and you couldn't find like.
I just never
5
bothered
seconds
to
of a
get.
tone
I never
beat?
bothered to put
Come on.
tone in here. But I mean, seriously, that's rather unbecoming of the president on national television. I mean, arguably on international television, since it was streamed on just about everything you could possibly imagine.
Look, it's like I told you, I fully expect it. And I said this when he got elected. Trump is the president America deserves. And half of America wanted him, half of America didn't. Just like before Trump, Obama was the president America deserved. And Obama was not the greatest. I'm sorry. He just wasn't.
He may not have been the greatest, but he was 150,000% better than Trump.
That is probably not statistically accurate. I would dare to say that his approval ratings probably not as good. And I would also say that most of the policies that people praise him for were not that effective.
That's an understatement. I think he's very good at confusion and obfuscating everything. But as far as effectiveness is concerned, I highly question if when we look back at the annals of history, if people will say he was highly effectual at anything. No, I did not say that. I said annal.
Annal.
So he wandered around today claiming a total acquittal. I'm wondering what a total acquittal is. I mean, by virtue of being
so now we're gonna
acquitted.
sit here and go down the whole semantic railroad because a man talks funny, dude. We've done this.
Come
before.
on,
We
seriously.
did this with both the Bushes.
He has
They did it with
ascended
Obama.
to the highest office in the land and still sounds like an idiot.
So did Obama without a prompter.
At least Obama had the common sense to read the prompter.
Yeah, but you couldn't believe anything he said.
Oh, really?
I couldn't.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, I still want to know what a total acquittal is because obviously, by definition, an acquittal means that you are not guilty. Okay. So, I guess in that respect, you have to, it's
Totally
total
not
because
guilty.
you're either
It's not
guilty or
rocket
you're
science,
not
Joe. It's
guilty.
the English language. Come on, man.
But,
you can do this.
but a total acquittal, I mean, in
on, Joe.
that context, it sounds
Well,
as
you're big
though
boy
it
fans,
was a
Joe. Come on.
unanimous verdict, and it was far from a unanimous verdict.
Come on, Joe.
Come on, what?
Come on. That's all you got.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Really? So you don't have a problem with any of that?
Look, Joe, you come to me because I'm the only one of us three who is not willing to bash Trump. Okay, but the bottom line is I'm neither for
it's
him
just-
nor against
it's
him.
just
He has
hard
done
not
nothing
to.
for me. But I will say the same thing I said within the first 6 months of his being elected. He is the only president I have heard do the things he said he would do. You don't like the things he said he would do, therefore you don't like the things that he has done. But guess what? He said what he was going to do. He did what he said he was going to do. That to me is commendable.
Oh yeah, just like we got that wall, right?
Yeah, exactly. So how about this one? Does everybody remember Republican Congressman Steve Scalise? He was the guy that was shot and left in critical condition at the practice for that congressional softball game a couple years back. In the middle of his victory tour speech, if you want to call it that, he actually turns to Scalise and says, "You look better, you look more handsome after getting shot."
Yeah.
Wow, that was a little slow on the trigger, bro.
Yeah, well, it's because we actually had to tell them to laugh because nobody knew what to make of that.
Yeah, was that
We had to tell the audience that was supposed to be funny.
it was met with uproarious laughter?
Yeah. I mean, seriously, who says that? Well, okay, we know who says that, but does any normal person say something like that?
Then there's something wrong with you. You're certainly not very good.
You just loaded up a bunch of Trump.
He sure
Trump
did, man.
bugs.
He went on a Trump spree. He took the last month off and just went and recorded as many Trump votes as he possibly
Because
could.
the man
Like,
opens
I'm
his
gonna get
mouth
him
and
again.
says nothing but
Wow, he's
dumb
quick.
things.
Oh, come on.
Seriously, did you listen to any of that speech this morning?
Nope.
Why not?
I was too
Because you
busy
didn't
living.
feel like being bombarded by idiocracy?
Oh, I don't listen to politicians when they speak. Although if I were to listen to Trump, guess what I'm sure he would do? He would tell me what he was going to do, and then he'd do it.
So, Todd, I'm going to go
my
out on a
God.
limb and guess you didn't.
Speaking of idiocracy, do you remember that documentary Idiocracy with the president?
Yeah.
Hector Macho Camacho.
Yeah. They just got the name wrong. That's all.
That was hilarious. One of his speeches did start with the S word.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, that movie, if you've
Man.
never seen the movie Idiocracy, I'm talking to everybody who's watching. If you've never seen that movie, watch it. It was billed
documentary?
as a comedy, yeah, but it's actually a prophecy, and we're living it now.
We're running out of burrito coverings. Everything's bad.
It's extraordinarily depressing, is what it is.
It's prescient, is what it is.
Yeah.
We're gonna be feeding our plants Brawndo pretty soon.
Yeah, no, pretty quick. We're just going to be
Okay, so
sitting
here's
in
my
reclining
opinion on this
toilets
whole thing.
eating
Here's the
margarine.
takeaway. I think the real takeaway from all of this is people have got to stop looking to politicians. So let's take, for instance, this whole shakedown that happened in Iowa, and that's literally kind of what it was. Why are you going to go? And I've seen people having this whole conversation on Facebook because there's this Trump outrage on one hand and then Iowa outrage on the other hand. You've got two parties and people are acting like they're different, and they're not. They're both beholden to the same entities. They both have to answer to the same authorities, and none of them are going to respond to you. That's the bottom line. So
Well-
if you're serious about any kind of change, stop looking up to Capitol Hill and start looking at the driveway that's right in front of your house.
Here's
Go see what you can do at the end of that.
I'm not saying that you're wrong, but here is my argument as to the difference between what's going on in the Democratic Party, and I do think there's some questionable stuff going on up there in
There's
Iowa.
some questionable stuff.
Well,
you're saying
okay.
that you're saying that after number one, the last DNC where they snubbed Bernie Sanders. You're saying that after that happened 4 years ago, and then here we are at the Iowa caucuses, and Buttigieg comes out on top.
Yeah, I know. And again,
serious?
you
Come
can't.
on.
You don't know. There's
you're
no way to
taking this
point a
party
finger
seriously,
exactly at
and on
who
top of
is
that,
responsible
you guys
for
wanna
that.
turn around and say,
Okay,
well, but
can I
these
finish? Can I
hypocrites
finish?
Are better than Donald Trump. Come on,
They,
dude.
you know,
guys-
there's no way to know
you-
exactly who's
guys-
responsible for the whole Buttigieg thing, whether it's Buttigieg or the Democratic Party. But the difference
Does it
between
matter?
them and the Republicans is
Does
that
it
none
matter?
of those guys
No.
have been
Does
voted
that
into
matter?
office yet. And unfortunately,
Does
Trump
that
is
matter?
leading our nation. He is the
Listen.
duly designated representative, supposedly elected by the people. Which
Listen,
leads me to question
They're
society
gonna
in
sit
general.
here, and Democrats will do it. They say, well, he didn't win the popular vote. Neither did Buttigieg. So unless you guys are really ready to get rid of the Electoral College, which I myself would be for, then I don't want to hear it from Democrats. Unless you guys are willing to sacrifice your Hillary money at the altar of an actual candidate, then I'm not trying to hear from you. Unless you guys are going to come to me with policies that are tangible rather than this, oh my God, the sky is falling, we should tax somebody. Come on, dude. You got to do better than that. People are dying in the streets, and you want me to worry about a power plant off the coast of China or something
So
like that? I'm
what
not
is-
trying to
what
hear
is
it.
your
You still got
solution? Are
dirty
you-
water in Flint.
Are you talking about anarchy? Are you saying just throw out the Constitution and the federal government?
The thousands in Chicago, a Democrat blue state. I'm not trying to hear from Democrats. Fix your backyard before you tell me how to dress up mine.
So are you advocating for like anarchy and just doing away with government altogether?
Anarchy. I'm advocating for responsibility. And too many people have been copping out for too long and letting Democrats get away with too much. The Republican Party learned that the hard way when they ended up with Trump because they didn't want him either.
So when are you running for the presidency?
They realized that America loves him, so they're not going to do anything to get rid of him.
When are you running for the presidency?
If the American people did not want this president, he would be gone. Period.
I don't believe that for 1 second. I don't believe that for 1 second because the Republicans won't allow that to happen.
Vote. He did not win the popular vote. He is not the candidate that the party he represents wanted.
And yet they stood behind him wholeheartedly in the face of this impeachment trial. They had an opportunity to get rid of him, and instead they lined up all of their wagons in a big circle, and they actually voted to acquit him.
You're making my point.
Am I?
My point is, if they got rid of him, none of them would be in any of those seats come the 2020 election.
Which brings me back to, are you advocating getting rid of the federal government altogether, or when are you running for president?
Okay, I'll answer both of those questions. I'll answer the second one first. I will never run for president. It's a bullcrap position. And two, yes, I actually would advocate for a lot of disassembling of the federal government at the federal level. I would definitely advocate for having more power at the local level and having more of a coalition, if you will.
It sounds more like you're talking about disassembling the United States of America and turning all 50 states into individual nations.
I'm talking about not having these plutocrats and autocrats and technocrats telling you that they're doing things in your best interest when they're not. They're lying to your face. Hence Iowa. They did it in plain sight. And it makes me wonder if that's not the reason he got acquitted, because they didn't want the distraction. You take eyes off of Iowa because you got everybody looking over at Trump.
Huh.
Wake up.
I don't see the Democrats as wanting to keep Trump in office. Even
the only thing Democrats don't want more than Trump is to have themselves exposed. That's it.
Well, that's an interesting perspective. So how do you feel about the president's assertion that he has done more than any other president has ever done in his first term in office?
What? I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I heard. Wah, 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 wah. What were you saying?
That sounds 100% accurate.
What?
No other.
I was just looking at the comments in the YouTube, and we got a commenter named Tammy who was talking about his speech and said it was hilarious, and they were all laughing in the room. So
that's because they were all Republicans in the room. He didn't have any Democrats in the room. Most of them wouldn't be there anyway, but it's not like they would have been allowed in.
And honestly, I think that's wrong. And I'll tell you my feelings on that, because you know my history. I worked in public access for 25 years. I'm all about free speech. I'm all about people being able to say what they want to say and more or less do what they want to do within reason. So one of the things that is a staple at Pasadena Media is everybody is responsible for helping everybody to express their free speech. If you want to have that right, you got to give other people that right. So if you're too chicken to stand in the room when somebody's saying something you don't want to hear, maybe you don't deserve to be in that room.
Yeah, I found it interesting that Trump had banned CNN from several of his press conferences and stuff.
I don't find that interesting at all. I think it makes perfect sense. Come on, Joe. Are you serious?
Does it?
Are you going to sit here and tell me, name one national media agency that is not biased one direction or the other? Name one.
Oh, there's no question that there are biases.
Why would you want to allow your assassins into the room with you?
I believe it's called freedom of the press.
It's a
I believe it's an amendment to the Constitution, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, if they were actually behaving like the press, I would let them in, but they don't.
Apparently you are
What?
mistaken.
He said I would let them in? I'm sorry. Did you just become Trump?
No, I'm just saying where I am.
Did you not hear him say I?
Yeah, that's his boy. His
Yeah.
roll dog.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. So yeah, Todd, how about you? How about maybe I could get a rational person's point of view on Trump saying that he's done more than anybody?
Oh yeah, I totally believe that.
Yeah.
He's apparently broken every law in the book and gotten away with it. So
yeah.
you know, I'd say that's pretty admirable.
I guess, yeah. If you look at it from that point of
We haven't seen a
view,
president this corrupt since Clinton and Obama. Oh wait, am I allowed to say that?
I haven't seen a president this corrupt since the last one.
Come on, man. This is like, why are you guys acting like this is something new?
because it's never been. This is unprecedented in its
How?
openness.
Yeah, he's literally saying,
Oh,
yeah, I
I'm
did
sorry.
it.
You would rather
in your
have him
face.
stabbing you in the back than slapping you in the face. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Again,
No,
this-
thanks. I'll
this-
take the
yeah,
slap in
yeah,
the
you-
face all day long.
Yeah, you would, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I
All right,
would.
well.
I'd rather have that than have people who claim to be my friends walking up and shoving knives deep into my back.
Is it-
Absolutely. Thank you, Democratic
My
Party. Get your crap
imagination,
together.
or are lights just turning off everywhere right now while we're doing this? That's rather.
I mean, it actually looks better.
You think so?
I like the color temp now.
Oh, okay.
It's good.
All right. Interesting. Yeah. So
I think that's the hint that we need to move on.
it is. Yeah. Right. They're turning off the. He also said, by the way, that no other president could have endured what he endured.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
actually,
totally.
that's probably fact because there's only been 2 other presidents who have had to deal with what he's endured. One of them resigned, and the other one played saxophone. So.
Wow, you really can spin things with the best of them. You really should be joining them, I think. Anyway, it's about time for us to be taking a break. You are watching Around Midnight Somewhere with the local boys and the crazy prepper in Colorado. Anyway, if you'd like to join in on the conversation, you can give us a call. We are live tonight. If you're watching for Thursday, February the 6th, it's 951-356-6882. That is our number, 951-356-6882. You can also join us on the chat, on the Facebook chat.
YouTube.
Oh, it's YouTube. We are live on the YouTube. Oh, okay. So join us on the YouTube chat, and we will read your comment aloud because the crazy prepper is actually checking that out too. Anyway, we will be back in a moment. Stick around.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all
Is
good,
it,
baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
Oh, Vanessa. You gonna text her back?
Nope. I'm high. I'm gonna hit the treadmill.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
We need to go meet the guys. I'm lit. Can you drive?
Nope. I'm high. How about they come over?
Where?
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
The lost cause. The ignored.
The impossible.
Meet your match. A Go to World Girl Scout identifies a big problem, creates a project, and takes the steps to solve that problem.
We stand out because we stand for more. Gold Award Girl Scouts don't just change the world for the better, we change it for good.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
All right, we are back right here on Around Midnight Somewhere with the local boys. Again, I am Joe Carbonetta, and I've got Todd Fluker in the studio with me here, along with Chevelle Devine, all the way from Colorado. We hope you're enjoying the show tonight. If you are watching for Thursday, February the 6th, 2020, we are live, and you can give us a call, 951-356-6882. That is the number to call. We are coming to you live from the studios of Pasadena Media, courtesy of the Pasadena Community Access Corporation, where you too can come down and make your own show, and it's cheap.
Cheap.
Did we lose Chevelle? Is he like
Yeah, what's
gone
his deal?
again? Okay. All right, that explains that. So, what?
Yeah, did he?
Yeah, he must have muted his mic. All we heard was the toilet there. Anyway.
Sorry about that, guys.
It's probably better that way.
Yeah.
It was muted.
It goes right through you, friend.
What's
Yeah.
really frightening to me is that he has a separate microphone on the toilet.
Well, you gotta take care of business.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I
all
take
right.
my dumps in hi-fi.
Oh, that was.
While we're having a pause, we did get a couple of comments on Facebook.
Okay.
C-SPAN, Tracy Carroll says C-SPAN is not biased.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. Moving on.
Yeah, and just to answer her question, watching this show will get you on the FBI watch list. She actually posted a little graph in there you might want to take a look at, which kind of breaks down how the different broadcasters lean.
Ah, okay. All right. Interesting. Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure that the guys in the suits are actually probably mobilizing to show up at your front door anytime now, CJ.
Oh, no, we're good buddies, man. He lives next door.
is-
If he's coming over here, it's because he wants to borrow some sugar.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Interestingly enough, like I said, it was historic in the vote in so much as that for the first time ever in an impeachment trial, and there have only been 3 of them, an actual president was voted against by a member of the same party. In this case, it was Mitt Romney. And again, it was on Article 1, which was abuse of power. And when interviewed, he actually made a speech before making that vote, which was quite a bombshell to the Trump administration. But in an interview afterward, he cited his strong belief in his convictions in doing what was right, and the fact that he's a highly religious individual and his faith in God are what compelled him to vote his conscience in the face of the rest of the Republican Party and actually vote to convict on the charge of abuse of power. So I'm kind of curious to know how you feel about that, CJ.
The power of Christ compels you.
Yeah, there you go. I don't have that soundbite, but that would have been a good one.
Either that one. I don't have any feelings one way or the other. Mitt Romney is, kind of one of the more liberal Republicans.
He does come from the great state of Utah.
That comes with its own issues.
I knew I wanted to throw that in there in the spirit of full disclosure.
A man just like anybody else. Oh, I just kicked my camera. Have mercy. Let's put that back where it was. Okay. Hey.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. All right. You were saying, come on. Focus.
No, it's like I told you at the very beginning of this conversation. I can't be bothered by this. I am not surprised that the vote went down party lines, and people's like, none of the Republicans voted to impeach him. Yeah, well, none of the Democrats voted to acquit him. So
well,
what?
that's not true. One Republican did vote to impeach.
Okay, one Republican did, but how many Democrats voted to acquit?
Oh, well, certainly none of them, but it was.
So let's not have this argument about party lines, because that plays both ways. If you have more Democrats and some voted not to impeach, then that's one thing.
In the face of the overwhelming evidence, it would have been a major shocker if a Democrat had voted to acquit him, because they all felt he was guilty.
The point is that
any rational human being feels he's guilty.
At the national level. If this type of thing was happening down on the corner of Fair Oaks and Orange Grove, you'd have cops showing up and all parties would be taken away. But because this is happening at the highest levels of politics, at some point, we, the Americans, got to decide we're going to be cops and take all of these criminals and lock them up. They're all corrupt. Every last one. Every one of them has lied to you. Every one of them has been compromised. Everyone has exploited you. Every one of them has taken your funds and misused them. Name one politician that you have absolute faith in. Who is it that you trust the most on that hill? And would you trust them with all of your money and the well-being of your family?
I think at this point, I would have to say Mitt Romney.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Well,
I'm gonna hold you to that.
the
one, Joe.
political ramifications of what he has done have probably made him a lame duck forevermore in, at his job.
He was a lame duck in the beginning, which is why he didn't get the presidential nomination when he.
So you're going to agree with the Trump administration's assertion that the reason that he voted was because he was mad that he never got to ascend to the presidency.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that that's the reason he voted that way. He may very well have strong convictions. I just wonder where those strong convictions are when he's voting on a lot of other stuff.
Interesting. Okay. In the last bit of amusement, of course, at the close of the State of the Union address, Pelosi was seen on camera completely shredding. Well, I shouldn't say completely. She tore it in half. Obviously, they're gross exaggerations to say she shredded it, but she tore the speech in half and was very, very visibly upset by the whole thing. And probably
now tell me that's not petty.
Well, wait. But if you're gonna lob accusations of petty, how about in the beginning when Trump came in and the speech was handed to him and he shook Vice President Pence's hand and then snubbed Pelosi? That happened first. So who was more petty?
Why do you guys keep doing this?
Well, because you're the one that said it was petty. You're the one who said it.
As petty as yours. Do you realize the arguments that we're having now? Do you realize the level that our politics is degraded to when we have to argue about which one of our politicians was more petty than the other? There should not be pettiness.
And I, for one, blame Trump.
And that would be petty
because we didn't have this kind of base behavior prior to his administration. What I wanted to get to
on that one for 1 second. I'm not going to let you just say that and then not have a response to that.
Okay, go ahead.
You cannot seriously say that kind of behavior was not happening before. You may not have seen it happening before. The only thing Trump has done has caused all of the crap that happens up there to be exposed. That's it. He is only doing what everybody else does, which is what I've been saying since day one. I will not get angry at a man who decides he's going to do his dirt in the light,
Todd, you're
versus
looking
standing off in the shadows and throwing somebody else in front of the
You're
bus.
looking incredulous. What's that about there, Todd?
I mean, Chavelle's like a real broken record, but I mostly just want to...
that wasn't that funny.
I mostly just worked on this, getting this graphic that Tracy sent us and to put up on the screen. So let's check it out.
How about that? All right. Okay.
So, it's got a nice sweeping left to
breaks
right
down.
bias.
So wait, so there are actually some news outlets that she has listed, or someone has taken the time to list as being semi-balanced.
I like how some of them, I like how it also has a quality meter. Like these ones are really crappy, and these ones not so crappy.
So Four Corners ranks at the top, evidently, according to this. That's interesting. Notice that none of the major network media. Oh wait, you know what? That's so small. I have to dig out a microscope. No, that says SBS News. Yeah, no, there's nothing. There's no mainstream media in the center, evidently. Okay, well, so the last little bit was that Pelosi was interviewed post State of the Union address, at which she referred to it as the state of his mind. As in, like, he lives in a fantasy world where everything is coming up Trump's.
Isn't it? Is it not? It seems to be the case. That seems extremely
man's got
accurate.
tiger blood.
Yeah, winning.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So,
don't hate the player, hate the game, folks.
I can hate both.
I personally hate the player and the game.
Yeah.
I choose not to play this game.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, so all we have established is that we are still in the midst of the beginning of the zombie apocalypse, and we can't count on Trump to get us out of it.
Donald Trump, because he's the only one that can pull us out of it.
I've done more with less.
You just watch.
In one term.
He's going to throw up some taxes and tariffs on that coronavirus. It'll be gone by the end of the year, bro.
Yeah.
End of the year?
China's not importing any more coronaviruses. We're not going to take any more of their viruses unless they buy some more of our fuel.
So
that's a really bad Trump impersonation. But.
yeah, it really was. That was
not that bad.
that was
Fine.
absolutely horrible.
We have the best tariffs, the best.
Not very good.
You got to see my 6-year-old's Trump impersonation. It's marvelous.
Huh. I'm
Fantastic.
interested in the fact that your 6-year-old is trying to do impersonations of him. I
Oh, man,
wonder.
the kid's good.
I wonder
Yeah,
why.
That's impressive.
kid.
You gotta like get a video of that and post it.
I should.
So if you want to join our conversation tonight, you can call us at area code 951-356-6882. Again, that's 951-356-6882. I'm wondering if we should maybe get a phone number in the area code for the
Do you think
Pasadena
that out of the area code number is what's stopping
throwing
people?
I don't. Yeah, maybe there are people that are just afraid.
You
Is
don't
there such a
think it's
thing?
the 3 people that are watching and 2 of them are sitting in that room?
That's true, but is there such a thing as domestic long distance
And the
anymore
third
in
one's
this
in
world
Colorado.
of VoIP and mobile phones? Is out of the area code calling a concern for anybody anymore?
Not at all.
No, because you can call out of the country practically for free. I think.
Yeah, so I guess it's just that nobody's watching us, but that's good to know. Then
I mean, who's still calling on a home phone? I don't know. Yeah, does an actual landline?
I still have one. Well, yeah. I see. That's
Does it have-
That's
but
not
who that's living
minutes?
in the 21st century, though?
That's not true in the strictest sense, because technically I have a home phone number, but it's a VoIP service, so it's not really it's not a landline anymore. Like
And you could
like
take
if the
that phone
power
number
goes
with you
out,
if
if
you
my
lose
internet
Arkansas.
goes out, I have no home phone anymore.
So what's the point of having it?
Yeah, I don't know.
There's absolutely
as we are
nothing.
sitting here having this conversation right now, I'm beginning to wonder if it's actually worth having that number
It's
anymore.
just an extra
It's all
bill.
part of the bundle, man.
I don't have
You
a
gotta get
bundle.
the
See, so
bundle.
I can't even use that as an
You're paying
excuse.
for that without a bundle?
Yeah, seriously.
You're paying full freight to get ripped off this hard?
Pretty much, yeah. So I can just get a bunch of spam telephone calls from people telling me that I really need to get solar on my roof.
Well,
So, yeah, this is the guy you want to take your political advice from, people.
What was that?
the
That was my
peanut
wife
gallery.
laughing from down the hall.
Oh, well, you know.
That was his.
That's because
that was his
she
6-year-old
laughs-
with his Trump impression.
Yeah, she laughs
This
because
guy.
she doesn't believe in global warming and has no need for solar panels.
This guy Trump, he gets me.
Well, no, you're half right. There's always a need for solar panels.
Yeah, but you just want to use them as barricades in the zombie apocalypse.
Hey, dual purpose, man. You get to build yourself a barricade and power it.
So-
all in one fell swoop.
And
Just good
one
thinking.
final note: some of
Just
those biased news agencies, by the way, were dubbing his victory speech as more of like one of those conferences, at Nuremberg.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time, but the same thing could be said for Obama. I mean, he literally had a brown shirt army, so.
Huh. All right.
that's cause
Well,
for concern.
so moving on to yet another controversial
How
topic.
quickly you glossed over that one. Thanks. I tell you, Obama's actually setting up a secret army, and you're like, oh no, we can't talk about the.
Obama's not in power anymore. I'm not concerned about the Obama administration. It doesn't
Obama was
exist
never
anymore.
in power. He was a puppet of the Democratic Party, which you are so desperately allied with.
I wouldn't say I'm allied with the Democratic Party because the independents also voted to convict.
Oh, you just want to lie with the okay.
No, I'm just against
Oh,
Trump.
no, it's cool. It's
I'm
cool.
just
You ain't
against
gotta
Trump,
explain, bro.
plain and simple.
You ain't gotta explain.
So,
You ain't gotta explain.
because
You ain't gotta explain. You ain't gotta explain.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not going to waste my breath on you. So one of the things we had hoped to do was to get on the air in the same week as the tragedy that took Kobe Bryant and the lives of 8 other individuals. But we were unable to do that. Unfortunately, we had too many things going on here at the studio, and so there was a conflict, and we couldn't simply get on the air. But again, there's probably nobody on the planet at this point who is not aware of the loss of Kobe Bryant in a tragic helicopter accident. And the final cause of that tragedy may never be known because there's just not enough information. It certainly is highly likely that inclement weather played a major role in that aircraft crash, but everything that led up to those circumstances will probably never be known. That having been said, though, it was a terrible loss. Although, I look at it from the standpoint of the loss of human life. Anytime people die needlessly, it's a tragedy. And of course, there were children, and they were on their way to a basketball game, and that alone is heartbreaking. I mean, I don't look at it from the standpoint of the celebrity that Kobe had attained. Personally, was never a big fan of Kobe as a basketball player, but as a human being, I mourn his loss and all of the others that perished. But what I really wanted to discuss was something that was very interesting. In the wake of that, there is a new controversy, and it is being driven front and center by, of all people, Snoop Dogg. Have you guys heard about this whole controversy?
Nope.
Yeah, apparently he took to, among other sources, Snapchat, and actually put up a picture of Oprah Winfrey smiling and posing with the infamous Harvey Weinstein. And the caption underneath of it literally reads some other things, a little bit of an explanation, and it culminates with the F word, F-U, Oprah, and Gayle. Because he's going after Gayle King, because Gayle King did an interview very recently with Lisa Leslie of the WNBA, where, among other things, she questioned whether all of the accolades that have been heaped upon Kobe Bryant in the wake of this tragedy are unbiased, because they seem to have glossed over the fact that he was accused of rape and infidelity. And this raised the ire of several high-profile black celebrities. Again, this is being led by Snoop Dogg, this cause, in this particular instance, where they are basically defending Kobe Bryant and willing to gloss over this entire thing. Other situations, basically, it has been suggested that there is a unwritten brotherhood of high-profile black celebrities that are willing, male, by the way, that are willing to defend other high-profile male black celebrities at all costs, including female black celebrities. They are willing to throw them under the bus to defend the male black celebrities. I can cite some other instances where this has happened, but I'm curious to know what you think about this situation. Obviously, this is something you're not up to speed on at all.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I watched that last Dave Chappelle special, and
Dave Chappelle?
He made it quite clear that he
Joe,
was.
please don't say it like you don't even know who he is.
No, I'm just wondering how this relates. I'm wondering how this relates.
He made it.
Dave who?
David Chappelle.
What?
Chappelle. No, he had a bit
Is
in
he
there.
a politician? Is he a Trumper?
Can you let the man finish?
Incidentally, he's probably a Trumper.
Yeah, I don't know, living out in Iowa or wherever he is, he might be.
Yeah,
but yeah, he had a bit in there where he made it quite clear that he had some run-ins with the infamous O.J. Simpson, and he made it quite clear that he wasn't going to, hitch his wagon to that old wagon train because his celebrity couldn't take it.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of this is probably related to what a lot of black male celebrities in particular experience, where they're constantly being denigrated and torn down. And this is something that seems to have been escalated lately. And it's unfortunate. I think the whole gender war is in a very dangerous place right now. I think men need women just as much as women need men. I think the two of them are designed the way they were for a reason. Like, they kind of work together, and that's how the species propagates. So you literally cannot have one without the other.
Yeah, go easy with the
not
hand
anymore.
motions.
That's not. Modern medical science is taking care of that. We really don't need.
You still got to get the stuff from somewhere. It's got to come from some male. And I don't believe cloning is a viable option. They just, well, we'll leave that alone. We're not going to go off into science fiction. My point being, what was the purpose? And I'm not a Kobe fan either. I think one of the things that I don't like that happens after somebody, a celebrity in particular, dies is all of a sudden all of the best stuff is remembered. And this is not just celebrities. It could be homie down the block that got shot while robbing somebody's house and, you know, held up a 4-year-old kid in order to block the gunfire, but he was a good man.
Well, you know, other examples of this type of scenario include Kanye West, who has to this day been on record as saying, and again, another, well, let me finish. Kanye West was a strong defender of Bill Cosby. And in fact, the Snoop Dogg quote ends not only with the F you to Oprah and Gayle, but the very last line is free Bill Cosby, as if they don't feel that he's done anything wrong. You also have 50 Cent defending R. Kelly. And of course, all of these celebrities have been on board with defending Michael Jackson because, you know, there was a lot of controversy and questions about whether he was a child molester
himself. I'm not gonna sit here and advocate for it, but I can't say I don't understand why, because again, this is a situation just like what's happening on Capitol Hill, where you have people who are being outed for doing something that is literally the culture of the industry that they finally being allowed to participate fully in. It's fully is relative. But you don't have to look, you know, 5 years, 10 years back to find corruption in Hollywood or in the music industry. That stuff goes back to the dawn of the industry. So when you're outing these people, it kind of calls into question. Oprah has some questionable skeletons in her own closet. There's always been questions about her and her relationship with Gayle and what that's all about. And I'm not saying there should be a cause for that. What I am saying is, I don't like it when people start pushing other people out like that when they've got their own stuff going on. It's like, I forget the news anchor, but he was out there outing all these other people. It turns out he never jumped out of a helicopter in Fallujah or whatever it was. People gotta stop doing that, man. Integrity is a real thing, and very few of them have it. And you can hate your hip hoppers for saying what they say and doing what they do, but hip hop is like the last bastion of honesty, except for all the
well, I don't know about that. Yeah, you had all these people that claim to be, you know, all hard and whatever, but it turns out they actually had no street cred whatsoever. That is beside the point. Clearly,
you can't go with any of the popular stuff, because the popular stuff is actually just a victim of the industry itself. It's not going to get promoted if it's not promoting what it is they want to say. But if you dig deep, and it's not just unique to hip hop, that's just what I'm more familiar with. Any genre of music, you have to get underneath that popular layer to get to people saying real stuff, and they never get the kind of play they could. A lot of the people that you hear all the time are not as talented as some of the people you never hear.
Oh, definitely. But now clearly the point of Snoop Dogg attaching the photograph of Oprah with Harvey Weinstein is obviously to illustrate the hypocrisy of that situation, because here she is posing with this guy who is a known, rapist. There are so many charges against him. It's virtually impossible to imagine that he will be as successful as Trump in being acquitted. But you never can tell. Depends on how many Republicans get behind him. But anyway, the thing,
way too liberal.
The thing about that is the picture that was taken was before all of this came to a head. You know, all the accusations came out, you know, before the Me Too movement became something that was well known. And even again, that's not going to be a defense. As you have pointed out before, everybody knows this stuff was going on in the background for a long period of time. I don't think anybody realized.
In the foreground in a lot of instances. This stuff is not new.
I'm not sure that anybody realized how pervasive it was. But it's kind of ironic that he would sit there and be willing to throw Oprah under the bus to save someone else, you know, in this particular instance, because
I don't think that's necessarily so shocking. I mean, you got to call people out on their BS.
Well, but okay, but
Snoop needs to be called out on some of his BS.
I was going to say
a lot of crap too.
I was going to say, you know, here's a guy who actually was a gang member and was actually tried for murder. He himself managed to be acquitted because, as it turned out, the LAPD botched the entire handling of the case. So he got off on a technicality. So you know, but the point is that people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. And so for him to sit there and
that's partially true. But what happens when that's the case is then nobody calls out BS. And at some point, you got to be. And this is again. I hate to go back to the politics, but this is the reason why the Democrats continue to fail. They keep trying to throw stones, but they're trying not to shatter their own house. They got to break that house down.
Okay, but we're not. We don't know whether Gayle is a Republican or a Democrat, and that's not the point. The fact is that
I'm just saying the fact that you call BS despite what your situation is, and people mature, people grow up. That kind of stuff was happening. Snoop in the 90s is not the same as Snoop in 2000. Dude drives a minivan. His kid goes to college. It's a whole different game.
But see, here's the big question. Kobe Bryant. It's not like he sat there and said, "I didn't do it." He did do it. There was no question about it.
Hey, he bought that gigantic ring to get out of it.
So how come
he said it was consensual? The whole situation was hella sketch.
Well,
the whole situation was super.
Okay,
sketchy.
so
And
whether
I'm a
or not
firm believer, and this is not just for black athletes or black celebrities at all. Anybody with any level of power, someone is going to try to get you into a position to compromise you so that they can use it against you later to manipulate you.
Okay, well,
And
but
I'm
whether
sure that
or
happens.
not the affair was consensual or not, the point is that he actually stepped out on his wife. Okay, so
but he already had to go through that. He went through a trial. He got mutilated in the press, and he came out of it.
Okay.
Why do we need to go back and revisit that? Why does she feel the need to bring that back up?
the point is that everybody is talking about all the wonderful things he did and how great he was, and he's almost on the verge of being deified, and everybody's glossing over the fact that he wasn't exactly a saint. And anytime somebody brings that up, it seems to bring up the same outrage as all the people who think that Trump is actually a right, upstanding president.
I mean, Michael Jackson may have fondled some kids, but he for sure wrote Thriller.
No, he didn't.
Sure did.
He didn't write that at all.
Or sang it, whatever.
Just like, no, he did not write that.
He didn't.
It was written by a 3-year-old boy under duress.
Oh, jeez. He wrote Off the Wall, okay? Or something. I don't know. He got a lot of hits.
Actually, he didn't write most of his own material.
Oh, my God, Joe.
I don't know where you're going with that. Rod Temperton is the guy who wrote Thriller, by the way, formerly of Heat Wave. Just so we have the facts right on
I
that.
had that at the tip of your fingers? Wow.
Yeah.
It's a pull, all right? You put
Who
your
wrote Billie Jean?
I don't know.
Fraud.
No, I'm not prepared to say that. I do not know who wrote Billie Jean. I know that Rod Temperton wrote Thriller.
fake news.
Anyway, so
The bottom line is, and it's in the YouTube comments, nobody is a saint. So
agreed. Nobody is a saint.
I'm not for the unnecessary deification of celebrities when they have that kind of drama, but I also don't feel the need to tear them down. I mean, there was once upon a time you don't speak ill of the dead. So I don't know why it is we feel like we need to go digging up graves. There's plenty of living people out there doing stupid stuff. We can be focused.
Also, this seems
I know
to
we
lead
got one
into
leading the country. He's in the White House right now.
this whole problem with people unearthing footage of people back in the day. Yeah, everyone did a lot of dumb stuff back in the day. Oh man,
Hell, we're doing it right now.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't imagine they're gonna unearth this footage in a few years.
Please do not ever release any of those old episodes, Joe.
Oh my God.
Why not?
You remember that that guy who had the beer fund or something like that? He was at the college football game.
Yes, we talked about that on the show.
Hilarious. Oh my God. And then that whole thing really blew up in everyone's face. But that's the problem.
Oh wait, I think that was the end of Trump's inaugural his State of the Union speech.
But then you get people like James Gunn getting thrown under the bus and demonized for some dumb joke they did in the past. And I mean,
the same thing happened with Kevin Hart. They brought back up his stuff that he already apologized for when he was supposed to host the Grammys.
Off-color humor, but
apologize. At some point, if people are not ever going to be in a point or position where they're willing to forgive, what's the point in apologizing?
Well, that's the problem.
Well, that's why we've just adopted the policy of not apologizing on this show. We do a terrible show and we don't apologize. There's no apology for it.
Yeah, you do just like Trump. Don't apologize.
This show is
for
perfect.
anything.
This show is perfect.
So then you guys do agree.
There's nothing wrong with the show.
Yeah, he's
It's fake news.
He has proven this his policy is flawless.
That's right.
It's all fake news. It's phony stuff.
Flawless
It didn't happen.
victory.
Yeah, there you go. See, that's it right there. Speaking of things that didn't happen, I think it's time for us to be taking another break. So I guess we would probably be remiss if we didn't mention that, again, you are watching Around Midnight Somewhere, coming to you from the Pasadena Community Access Corporation and the studios of Pasadena Media. And you too can come down, make your own show where it's cheap. You can give them a call Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The telephone number is 626-794-8585. That's the wrong phone number, Todd. 626-794-8585. If you want to come down and make your own show. If you want to call in tonight and be live on the air, that's the right phone number, Todd. Then you can call us at 951-356-6882. That's when you're supposed to bring in that phone number, Todd.
Hold
You're
on.
so bossy, Joe. Good grief.
951-3. There you go. 35. What? No. What are you doing, Todd? Oh my God. Okay. That's the number to call if you want to make your own show. 794-8585. You can reach out to them at PasadenaMedia.org also. Now, can we get the other phone number?
I do good?
Oh, now someone. Wait. Oh.
I do
Go
good.
to this break so we can come back and take this.
I know somebody was calling and now they're not there anymore. All right, we'll be back right after this.
I do good.
Okay, we're coming back because there was some kind of technical difficulty there. We had the video, but we didn't have the audio. I don't know what the deal was with that. Todd, what are you doing there? No phone number, no audio.
I do good.
Oh my goodness. It's making my head hurt. You are watching Around Midnight Somewhere with the local boys. I am Joe Carbonetta. I've got Todd Fluker over here. And at some point we'll get audio on that other promo reel. And joining us all the way from Colorado, where he's still prepping, it's Chevelle Devine. I said prepping, not pooping, right?
I mean, from that expression, it could be either. Wow, he keeps muting his mic.
Yeah, I know. It's all we hear is the toilet.
Face is way different from that.
What?
It's like,
oh, really?
oh man. I mean, this is gonna sound crazy, but you guys gotta hear my 6-year-old take a dump. It is hilarious. You just be sitting in there, minding your own business, watching some Seinfeld or something like that, and you just hear from the bathroom, and then he'll start singing. He'll be like, gotta go wild, Kratz, gotta go wild,
Kratz.
Wow. I'm going to save this episode, and someday I'm going to play this back for your son when he's much older and probably much bigger than you are.
Oh,
you know what it sounds like? You know that video clip where the lady's doing the news and she's smashing grapes and then she tries to and then she falls.
I'm not familiar with this. I am not familiar with this at all.
You don't know Grape Stomping Lady?
No, I don't know Grape Stomping Lady.
That one's hilarious.
That's a
I
great
mean,
clip.
as hilarious as somebody else's pain and grief can be.
Which is all
on live television.
All hilarious.
Yeah. So we're laughing at somebody else's misfortune. Is that what you're telling me?
Nah, she fully earned that one, bro.
A little bit.
Earned that one.
Only a little.
No, fully. She fully earned that.
Okay. Well, anyways.
And then the anchors come back like, well, I hope she's okay. Oh. They have that little Joe voice where they come back and like, oh, I hope everything's all right.
Ooh, sounds like something's really going on down at the winery. All right, back to you.
I don't even know where to go with that. I don't. I don't know where to go with that. Yeah, so anyway, CJ, I'm going to let you discuss this next topic because this was actually something you had proposed bringing onto a show last year that we just never got around to. It was something called the Baloney Detection Kit.
Oh, yeah, that. I got to pull up that link. We should take that test right now, actually. Then you take a look at that.
I took the liberty of writing down quite a bit of stuff here, but anyway, I wanted you to explain. I wanted you to explain the baloney detection kit first, and see, this is why I had you.
Was it I want to say Carl Sagan.
Yes, it was Carl Sagan.
Carl Sagan, yeah, years ago came up with this baloney detection kit. It's basically a way to detect BS when you see it, and it's interesting because if you go through it, you realize that your life is BS. Everything you're being told is BS.
Well, so could you? Because I know he listed a bunch of tools.
Have it in front of you. Go ahead.
No, I don't. I don't have it in front of me here, but I know that he had a bunch of tools.
Last year when I recommended it, I have not committed it to my memory banks.
What the hell's wrong with you, Chevelle?
I'm about to eat this grapefruit.
Yeah. So anyway, he had a bunch of tools that he listed as being useful for determining whether something was baloney.
All right, good talk.
Joe,
don't you,
what?
So, yeah, don't you don't have the ability to bring any of this up at all there, CJ? No?
You got it right in front of you.
I don't have it right in front of me.
All right, well, you're going to have to stall while I pull it up, okay?
Okay, yes, we're stalling for time because in the meantime, can you roll back the tape of
play some of that stalling music?
Chevelle, you know what? Oh, yeah, we could put on some music. Let's see.
I had to go and ask him to do that.
You need like one of those cards where it says technical difficulties and it's got the guy going, whoa, the cameraman. Huh? Good stuff. Oh,
are you still looking?
That's great. I'm pretty sure that's that's future jazz. Good stuff.
This is our music on hold.
So it was a book, right? Yeah, it was a whole book.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, written. Wow. 19. Oh no, that's when it died. Okay.
Okay. Do you have it now?
Not really. No.
Ugh.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Yeah, I got some of it.
Okay.
So what do you want me to do, Joe? What are you getting at? What's the plan here?
We want you to explain the tools that he suggested.
When you break it down, it essentially comes down to applying the scientific method, which is more or less what the baloney detection kit is. It's the scientific method. It's true science, not that fake stuff that has you guys thinking we need to tax Toyotas.
What? Tax Toyotas? Isn't that Trump?
No.
Yes.
That would be
he does.
Chinese
He wants
cars.
He wants
Japanese cars.
No, he wants to tax everything that
Dude,
comes in.
Dude, Toyotas are built in Texas, man.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah. You wanted to see how this would work in contemporary society, right?
Well, let's apply it to this show. Wherever possible, there must be independent confirmation of the facts. And that is something that I have to say that's actually part of the reason why I don't watch most news. The reason why I don't pay for cable is because I just can't bring myself to pay, number one, to have that many channels I'm never going to have the time to watch, and number two, to have that much garbage shoved into my household unfiltered. And I've
seen kind of the stuff you eat. I don't know. You can't be talking about garbage shoveled into your. Never mind.
Face hole.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
This segment's going great.
He talks.
This is the most.
He talks so much he can't hear.
Ever.
Well, it was your idea, so.
A year ago.
Oh. That's why you had the rundown. You need to read the rundown. Well, here's the interesting part, at least for me. when you got to the end of the list of tools, because he only listed, I think, 9 of the tools. You'd have to buy the whole book to read everything. But evidently in there also are a list of pitfalls, things that you should be wary of in the process of applying the tools on a daily basis. For the sake of fairness, because there's a whole bunch of these pitfalls listed, I just took the first 10. I did not omit a single one of the first 10 pitfalls. And I tried to apply them, per Chevelle's suggestion, to modern day situations. And here's what I discovered. Pitfall number 1 was listed as being ad hominem, which basically was to attack your arguer, not the argument. Any idea who that sounds like?
Nancy Pelosi.
I'll try again.
The arguer, not the argument.
Adam Schiff.
No.
I'm really rich.
Yeah, it's Trump.
Oh, I was going to say Scientology.
Who attacks the arguers.
Are you seriously serious right now?
Who attacks the arguers by calling them names like Nervous Nancy, or saying she's a horrible person, or how about Rocket Man? Because, he didn't like dealing with Kim Jong-il, so he just gave him a nickname. Or then there's Adam Schiff, who he referred to as vindictive. Oh, no, wait, he called him vicious as hell.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's all working out very well.
Wait, what about James Comey?
I don't know why you always
What about James Comey, the director of the FBI that he referred to as a sleazeball?
I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, okay, so...
so acknowledging all these
on your baloney meter, Trump just failed test number 1. Pitfall...
Joe,
yes,
come on, hold on.
Yes.
Are we just going to run down your list and talk about Trump some
Well,
more?
you didn't have anything else to discuss. I asked you to introduce us, and you had nothing. So now we're going to go with all of the things that I just went down the first 10. Pitfall number 2.
Let me ask you, because you said you applied it to modern situations.
A modern situation, yes.
A situation.
That's
you
right.
Applied it to Trump, which is a situation you come into with a preconceived notion, which I believe is one of the pitfalls.
So argument from authority. And what does Trump always say? No president could have handled what I did.
Wow, that's a stretch, bro.
Oh, no, those were his words. How about pitfall number 3?
But that's not an argument from authority. You are using very poor scientific exegesis right now.
Argument from adverse consequence. I'm not guilty of impeachment. Otherwise, all presidents would be guilty. And this should never have happened to any president.
Well, I disagree with that. I think it should have happened to all the presidents, frankly.
They should have to prove why they're good halfway through their first term.
No, I mean,
he should get a performance review.
This is going to be another broken record moment for you, Todd. I've
Oh,
only
boy.
ever had one position, and that is
Yes.
whatever law you apply and whatever situation you apply it in, you have to do it equally. I have a very low tolerance.
Look at this guy.
For when you guys apply the laws willy-nilly. It's not right, and frankly, it's un-American.
Oh,
Well, It's
okay.
actually very American, but that's another
I'm
story.
really rich.
How about pitfall number 4? This one I liked. Appeal to ignorance. I say my phone calls were perfect because they couldn't show proof of my guilt. I therefore must be innocent. Never mind that I wouldn't allow any witnesses in the trial.
It's insane that these are things he said. And he's fine. He's bulletproof. He's the Teflon Don. This guy is going nowhere.
Oh, how about pitfall number 5?
Okay, hold on. No.
Okay.
'cause
Yeah,
what
no.
Todd said there is, again, that's not something we should just gloss over.
Okay.
If this man is that bad, why is he still the president?
Because he basically hobbled the entire process by not allowing witnesses. He had his puppet Mitch McConnell keep the trial so that nobody could actually hear anybody say, yeah, you know what? He might have actually done a few things he probably shouldn't have done. Instead, he says he didn't do anything wrong.
So does everybody else.
But everybody else is not the president.
If people
And every other president that has ever been has done the same crap, Joe. How many times are we going to rehash this conversation?
If at the point when they decided that there weren't going to be any witnesses in this trial, why did they even bother going forward?
Thank you.
What is the point?
Exactly.
The Constitution requires that they do it.
How were they allowed
Okay,
to
well, and here's
hobble
another
the
question.
investigation so egregiously? Why was that
Here's-
decision allowed?
Because they shoved it through. And
Who's
I have several
they?
problems with the impeachment. I don't have a problem with well, I do have a problem with the fact that they even went for this impeachment, but I have a bigger problem with the fact that they're sitting there crying about how they couldn't get their witnesses presented and all of this other stuff. Look, if your evidence is that strong, just present your evidence. If your evidence is that
They
strong,
presented some pretty
if
strong
you're-
evidence, in my
the man
opinion.
was on trial.
The
present the
Republicans were
evidence.
just like, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil.
But if the man is that bad,
Use your words,
he
Chevelle.
should not be the president. Somebody wants this man to be president, and I'm guessing it's 50% of the somebodies in America.
Actually, as it turns out, no, it's not.
Then why is he still
Did
the
you not just say
president?
he lost the popular vote?
You are
The
foolish
popular
if you
vote
think
would have
this
been
man
50%
is
or
so
more.
Powerful that he can overcome or maybe you think that Americans are stupid. I don't know which one it is. You need to tell me which one it is. Are the American people so weak and so helpless that they cannot throw this man out?
2 words for you, bro. Facebook.
What?
Yes, Americans are definitely too stupid and lazy to do that thing
So
you
then
just
why
said.
are we blaming Trump for America's stupidity? If the fact that a man like Trump can be president,
I'm just saying
bothers
facts
you,
are facts.
maybe you
Based
should-
on the idea that you brought up this baloney meter, I'm just applying the principles and oh look, it all keeps coming back to Trump.
But Joe, I'm not arguing that that's not the case. What I'm saying is you're picking and choosing your situation, and you can apply this same baloney meter to every single one of them, and you're going to get the same result. And it's the same thing I've been telling you for 20 years. They are all full of crap.
Okay.
This is not news.
This sounds
to
like
any- well,
confusion
maybe
and
it's news
obfuscation to me,
you.
that we're trying to deflect away from the actual subject,
No,
which is what the
no,
president of the United States has been doing.
People have gotta
How
get to
about
the point where
pitfall
they're-
number
you
5?
gotta get to a point where you have decided you're tired of playing this silly game about hating on Trump or promoting whoever this other miracle candidate is going to be, and just you gotta just start doing it yourself.
Pitfall
man.
number 5 is special pleading. It was a witch hunt. Fake news. Corrupt politicians. Corrupt news media. They're all corrupt.
These are all facts.
Oh, or how about pitfall number 6, begging the question? Because of me and my administration, the economy in the country have never been this good. No president has ever made the country this good.
Bo, you got me so frustrated. I am calling you my.
I know the
son
truth
tonight.
hurts, doesn't it?
No, but what I was going to say is all of these things that you're bringing up sound like the tactics they used during this impeachment trial, which failed.
No, they brought actual
failed
facts and
on
wanted
their
to bring
case.
on witnesses to back up those facts, but the Republicans stopped them from doing that.
How many
Well,
pieces of citrus
sucks
do
to
you
be
have
you.
to eat, Chevelle? You've been peeling and
bro, I
eating
love
citrus
fruit.
for about 40 minutes.
Well, even this bitter grapefruit has a little bit more palatability than this conversation.
Oh, yeah, he really doesn't like it when
No,
when
it's
you-
just we're rehashing this. It's going nowhere. Why are we having this conversation? Like, if we want to talk about this thing, that's fine. But I'm really not interested in talking
again,
about Trump.
whose idea was this subject? Whose
This
idea was this subject?
Was last year.
It was still your idea. It was still
Yeah,
your
and-
idea.
All right. I'm sorry. It was a stupid idea. I'm sorry. I will not
It's
present
no.
any-
Oh, that sounds like Trump. It's a stupid idea now because people are bringing up things that make him look bad.
Wow, Joe, he really got you
Wow,
upset. The fact that he got acquitted
let's go
really
back
bothers you, doesn't
to
it?
pitfall number 1 and ad hominem. Attack the arguer, not the argument. Oh, this is stupid. Oh, it's all stupid now.
That's not a personal attack. You're using these improperly. You're doing bad science, Joe. You sound like a global warming advocate.
Oh my goodness.
You sound like a flat
It's all
earther.
fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen.
So the earth really is flat, guys, right?
No, I believe that Chevelle is actually engaging in pitfall number 7, observational selection, or the enumeration of favorable circumstances. Like illegal immigration is down, but they never built that wall. They couldn't get that up. Or my favorite one.
Let's pause, Joe.
Uh-huh.
Because you are actually you are using the argument to prove your argument. You are using these debunking methods and debunking your own argument. You realize that, right?
Not at all. I think only
facts,
somebody
dude.
who.
You're sitting here talking about the fact that illegal immigration is down, but you don't know why it's down.
Exactly, and neither does Trump.
Well,
and it
the
certainly
answer
wasn't
is
because of
more
his
money has
wall,
been
but he's
invested
taking
at the
credit
border
for
than
it.
anything else.
He's
And
taking
let's
credit
talk
for
about
it.
Something that Trump is implicitly good at, and that is negotiating. And I'll tell you how he does this. And maybe you should go read his book so you can learn a thing or two. You always ask for way more than you want, so when they push back, you actually end up getting what it is you want. That's like car dealership 101, Joe. You should know this stuff.
So you're saying he's
So
like
he's saying,
a
"I'm
sneaky
gonna build
used
a
car
900-foot
salesman. Oh,
wall,"
that makes
and
me
everybody
want to keep
flips
him as
out,
president.
and then when
That's
he
it.
gets his
Because we
billions
know
of
how
dollars, he can
scrupulous
invest
those
in
guys
border
are.
control.
So this was another one that because he touted this one really big at his State of the Union, that employment numbers have never been higher. He neglected to mention that those jobs don't allow people to actually earn a decent living, and that the homelessness rate across the nation is the highest it's ever been.
And that happened under Obama.
No, it's happening under
Yes.
Trump because
Let's talk
Trump
about
is the president.
unemployment rates while Obama's president. What are you going to do? Blame that on Bush? Obama was president for 8 years. He couldn't do in 8 years what Trump has done in 4.
Which was completely screw up the nation. Yeah, you're right.
Which is raise the employment rate, which is bring jobs back home to the U.S. of A. Something that I used to hear you say all the time if you want to go back 15, 20
What
years.
jobs did he bring back? He brought back jobs for 20 coal miners. What jobs did he bring back?
20 jobs for coal miners.
Yeah.
And you know who appreciates that? 20 coal miners.
Ugh.
How many jobs did Obama bring back? In fact, you've got candidates on the Democratic Party running around and bragging
it's
about
funny
how many
that you
jobs
said
they
that.
got rid of.
It's funny that he said that 20 coal miners are really appreciative because that brings up pitfall number 8, statistics of small numbers. I'm the greatest president. My approval rating is 75% of Republicans. Of Democrats, it's only 5%.
Oh, come on. Is that serious?
Yeah.
In your face, Chevelle.
My gosh.
Right in your face.
All of these arguments work both directions, and my wish.
I don't hear a whole bunch of Democrats going, "We are the greatest Senate of all time."
My wish for you is that you will open your eyes and find a candidate that is better.
I just went down the first 10 of them. I didn't omit a single one of them. Oh, the pitfall number 9, misunderstanding the nature of statistics. Trump, I'm the greatest president because 49% of the population approves of me, and 50% think he sucks.
Still higher than Obama's rating.
Joe's really mad or something. I don't know.
I'm just
yelling a lot.
Okay. I'm gonna pause you right there.
We got 3 minutes left
all
in the
these
show.
arguments you've made.
We don't
what
even
you
have that much
already
time.
Done is you have violated number 1, number 2.
Fake
three.
news, Chevelle. Shut up. We gotta end the show.
Yeah, wait. Let's use a
Number
Trump
6.
argument. Let's use a Trump argument.
Number 6.
It's
of
phony
those
stuff.
arguments.
It
This is
didn't
not-
happen.
Quiet down, Chevelle. Pipe down.
All right. Anyway, yeah, you keep enjoying your grapefruit, and I'm sorry that this conversation didn't go the way you wanted. But you know,
Conversation went nowhere.
you can say it's all fake news now too.
Nowhere.
So sorry, Chevelle.
Grapefruit is delicious.
This
Oh my God,
has been.
grapefruit is gross.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it is. It really is. This has been another exciting and informational packed
This is a delicious grapefruit.
episode of Around Midnight Somewhere with the local boys and Crazy Prepper from and Trumper from Colorado, Chevelle Devine. I got Todd Fluker here. Thank you very much, Todd. Even though we didn't get audio on the second roll in, but that's all right. And I'm Joe Carbonetta, and we would like to take an opportunity, by the way, to thank the Malibu Film Foundation and the Malibu Film Festival, and remind you that if you'd like to help support the arts in your community, you should check them out. This, by the way, is not art, what we're doing. I don't know what this is, but I don't think this really qualifies as art. But that's why we really thank Malibu Film Festival for all that they've done. And
it sure as hell ain't using a scientific method.
we'd like to remind you that AM Somewhere is a CDF production. It is produced through the facilities of...
8 a.m.?
AM. No, I said AM. We want to remind you that AM is a CDF production. It is produced through the facilities of Pasadena Media and the Pasadena Community Access Corporation for Mixified Media Solutions. And I'd also personally like to take the opportunity to remind you that making the world a better place is as easy as a smile. So try that sometime instead of going around telling everybody it's fake news and a witch hunt.
And a witch hunt?
Yeah.
Hey, do what works, bro.
All right. Well, we'll catch you all next time.